Welcome, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Live from NBC Studios. Well, not really. I'm still here in East Carbon, Utah. Having a cup of coffee on Saturday morning, January. It's the 9th or something. 9th. Very early. So us old timers get up early. Not too early. I meant it really. It's not an old timer. I'm 37 years old. So the whole old timer thing, that's sort of a joke upon this, one of these things. So 37, going on 38. My sidekick here. That's Tigglebutt. Oh, ooh. Is that the baby? Ooh. Fifi will be 13 years old here coming up, and Brittle just turned 16. He just came out of the dungeon early in the morning. She just turned 16. 16, that old bear. So I've had some good dogs for a long time. Never had a problem with a ticket or a license or a dog, ever. In fact, this little rat here, rat dog, cute white rat dog, was attacked many years ago at a dog park by a pitty that ripped her open. It was very bad. You can't get up there with her. Whoa! Holy moly. Riddle! What are you doing? Are you okay? It's just one chair. Are you not seeing that you can... Geez, you scared me. You're too old to be doing that. Holy moly. Are you okay? Here, go. Jeez. She's been up here before. She thinks she's a person dog, so she'll climb up on people's furniture, including mine. Actually, these chairs were in the market. I bought these for the market, and I've had them as remembrance. They were in the store with me. She's gonna make you get up there with Tigglebutt. She's gonna make you guys, what is going on? This is like a clown act. What are you doing? Wow. Jeez, dude. Why would you look at this? What? Oh man, that's funny, but you fell and you were trying to at least get you going comfortable. Wow. And now you stole her chair, which now she gets to lay there, but this dog's easy. Dogs. Huh? That was fun. Spilled my coffee too as they were banging around up here. Oh, anyway, I bought these chairs, and early in the morning, I just wanted a cup of coffee for a minute, but dogs are wonderful. We love dogs. The whole bad owner thing, tickets, you're not even, you don't do. Okay, my dogs are 13 and 16. I've had them forever. So, like my kid picked him out. Vulnerable. Yeah, they get to pick out dogs. You never know how when you get dogs, dog people, because people pick them out for you, or they are meant for you, or something. There should almost be a talk about dogs today. So, Pete, we call her Ticklebutt. I was moving a friend out of his property in Denver, and I already had the house sold for him. Found a guy to buy his house, elderly fellow, friend of mine, and we were moving him out, getting ready for the other guy to move in his place, and I only had brittle at the time. I had to put my pity down. And let's see. This guy that was buying my buddy's house noticed I had a dog and said to my daughter, talked about, oh, you have a dog, we have dogs. Or we have a dog. We have to find a new home for a dog. I didn't know this. I'm working, moving, packing the guy's stuff up, helping boxes and trying to get him out of there. And next thing I know, she comes bebopping down the hill with this little itty-bitty white chihuahua. I've never had a little dog. Never had a little dog, especially chihuahuas. Holy moly, all I've known, little yappers. And so I've never really had a little dog. My mother had toy poodles. You're growing up, she always had litters of toy poodles around the house and all these little dogs. So I never really did little dogs. So she comes walking down this hill with this little dog, and I said, she goes, Dad, look. This it looked like a little rodent, I didn't even know. It was just this little thing. And then I went, no, take that out of here. We're working. We got to work here. We're helping this guy. And she said, he needs to rehome it or whatever. They can't have it. The guy worked. His wife worked. I think the daughter was maybe 8 at school. There was a dog all day long. And she said, no, I got to tell you something. I got to tell you something. Come here. So she said, I go up there and I open the door, Dad, and here's this little itty-bitty dog in this room. There's nothing in there. It's mess everywhere. And she goes, and you can't make me put this dog back in that room. You can't make me. Okay, well, that's not good. I can't make her put the dog back in the room. Well, can I make somebody else put the dog back in that room? And the dog can't go back in that room. That's how she got here. 13 years ago. This little itty-bitty dog. 13 years ago. And she's been here ever since with me. And my kid's dog wasn't even my dog. It's her dog. Well, now it's my dog. We were at the dog park, 5 years ago. And PB sat on my lap. Before I moved down here to this East Carbon. It's my house here. Great town, by the way. Wonderful, wonderful town. I have no idea. Bought this house online, cash. Sight unseen. We'll never do that again. We'll never do that again. Bought without ever seeing it or coming here or looking across the street at the flippin' mess or the town or the criminals that are in it. At City Hall. Anyway, I guess we're on a dog cool story. Not a good story, by the way, but she's sitting on my lap. It's the middle of summer. I think it's August 11th on, I don't know, I guess 20. It was 2020, August 11th, 6 years ago. And somebody I knew came in with, seen him before, and I was sitting there with another gal that had dogs. It was hot. It was the middle of summer. It was so hot. Brindle was laying down next to me, and he was on my lap, and this guy brings this dog in, or two dogs, and I'd seen him before. He has two dogs, and so I seen him come with two dogs. I go, oh, okay, well, those dogs have been here. I don't have to be like concerned a little bit. I haven't, not Brindle so much. She was a big dog, and she doesn't play really. But this little dog, you never know with dogs. And I guess it's dog story day. And this dog comes running around with his dog, and they come over and they make the little rounds, and they run right up us. We're sitting under this pavilion, this dog park, and this dog sniffs her, and she's on my lap. I'm sitting in a chair. This other lady's sitting here in a chair. She sniffs her, and he sniffs her. Hi, hello. And he's not wagging his tail. He's not anything. And I'm looking at him, and I'm like, one more second later, I notice he's about to do something different, and he just bites her as I notice something's going on. So I'm standing up as so I pull my little dog out of his jaws. Is what happened. He bit her as I was standing up. This big pity. And in that tussle, ripped her out of my, it's a tough story actually. Ripped her out of my arms, and then she flipped to the ground and ripped her open. I didn't notice it first, but I went to pick her up, and she's bleeding all over. And I'm flipping out in this mess, and he notices something happened, is now running over there. It wasn't even his dog. It was a sister's dog. This guy brings this dog to the dog park. They had problems before, we find out later. So I'm cussing this clown out as this dog just bit my little dog. Big dog biting this little 10-pound dog, 8-pound dog off my lap, by the way. And it's the middle of summer, it's hotter than hell. And I grab her, and Brindle, of course, follows me. I'm not really paying attention. And get in the car and race, 90 miles an hour to the nearest, it's a Sunday, 90 miles an hour. It was a Sunday. 90 miles an hour to an emergency vet place with a bleeding dog in my lap that was not white anymore. She was bloody red and white. It was hot as hell, and she's panting, and I thought, obviously, she's gonna die here on my lap. There's blood all over her. Brindle's in the back seat of this car. I bought a different car at auction. I bought a bunch of different vehicles every time, and always was buying and selling things. Times bought a couple vehicles and buy stuff, sell stuff, do whatever. racing. It's 90 miles an hour. It's 2020, summer of 2020. I'm calling him on the phone, telling him I'm pulling up. I'm pulling up. My dog just got attacked. I'll be there in, I don't know how many minutes, whatever. I'm just driving. So, be ready. It's the middle of COVID, all the stuff's going on, masks, football helmets. They got all this, everybody's flipping out. You can't stand over here and stand it's 6 blocks away, whatever. They're 6 steps away, whatever the hell. It was weird. All the shit they were doing with that crazy time. It was awful, by the way. It was all crazy. And I get there, they come running out, and she hops out of the car, and they're by my car door, and I said, don't pick her up. Don't pick her up. Let's find a leash. Let me find her leash. And whatever, I didn't even know what, not to pick her up. I knew she was bleeding all over. So they ran in and got a leash, because I left mine there at the dog park. So I'm holding a bloody dog, running to save her. And so my car's sitting right in front of the door, and I'm walking in, and they're walking her in there, and then they close the door and go, it's COVID, you can't come in. Okay? I guess I just stand here. So I stood there a while, and then I just stood there. And then I went, oh, that's right, my other dog's in the car. I better go check on my older dog, who's now 16. He was, I guess, 11 at the time. And then the gal comes out and goes, well, you can't come in, the COVID, and we can't have people, whatever, and we're gonna, give you your number, and we'll call you in a little while. If she's not dead already, by the way, or something. It was so they did call about an hour later. I think it was about an hour later, right when I got back. Right when I got back to town, probably an hour, that she's stable. She was stable, and we want payment. Everybody wants payment. Ask this city. Pay us people for other water bills and other people's bullshit and whatever they do here. All this, there's water bills from other people. You got to pay it for. This town is ridiculous. These people are such criminals. Absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, so I gave them my credit card, of which it costed more. That was the initial, whatever it was, $2,000. I ended up paying $2,500 to save this free dog. She went through, it was 36 stitches, a 4-hour surgery, and it cost me $2,500, that guy's dog, for this free little white Chihuahua that I tried to have to save, that my kid made me have. Thanks. And so she was there until This is early afternoon, probably around 1 o'clock. So I picked her up at 11 o'clock at night, that night, all sewed up, stable. $2,500 later, and 36 stitches, 4-hour surgery, and she made it through. She made it through, and the vet doctor called me about a week later and said, "Well, I haven't heard from you. I haven't heard from you. What's is she okay or whatever?" And I said, "Yeah, I mean, she's still healing. She's, wrapped up. All those stitches and everything." And it was, that was one of the most traumatic things I had ever, one of the top 10. Here's this bleeding dog racing to save it from this pit bull that shredded her in my lap. This little dog. And I said, "Why?" And she said, "Well, let me tell you." She said, there are layers of skin. There's layers of skin that you have on your body. And I put my finger right behind her last layers, and I could see my finger there. So she was so close to dying right in front of your lap that, holding her innards in. She's very lucky to be here, and I believed that she would have obviously needed another surgery, this doctor was telling me. And wondered why I didn't call her, that she, maybe had already passed away, but she was so close to death right then. Thank God that dog's tooth didn't shred her more. There's this big, long scar, 36 stitches on a little animal. She was a lot lighter back then. We're a little fatter now. But it's all right. We'll work on that. We're going to be famous, see. That she didn't believe that she would be alive for this attack and afterwards. And, some dogs don't survive the trauma of this stuff. So she was surprised. And I said, "No, she's fine." In fact, sometimes something like this, when it happens to any person or an animal or whatever, it changed the whole character of the dog or the person or whatever when you go through traumatic things in your life. Such as this, or a health concern of your own. Or maybe going through a detrimental thing that people put you through. And, that causes a lot of stress and strife and problems. That does happen. But every now and then, you revert back to the person that you are. It didn't affect you. It affected you then. It affected her then. It affects a person. But hopefully that person, that loved animal that you have, kicks right back in and be's the person or doggy that they always were. And so I guess the message is, sometimes when you go through these things in life and you're the person that you are, or the dog that you are, and hopefully you were a good person or a good dog, and you just get back to your old self again, which is good. Some of us want to be our old selves again. We like our old selves. we're good enough, we're smart enough, and doggone it, people like me. And the funniest part about that, I guess, is that's all a true story, by the way. All these stories are true. Some of them are bad, some of them are good. But some people in their lives have to hide all these things. They have to hide all these things. And be somebody they're not due to those things. Oh, I am exactly who I say I am. I've said that for a long, long time to everyone. Some people here in this criminal town are a bunch of frauds, plain out frauds. Had to hide all this criminality, all of it. So, let the firings begin. Let the retirements get underway. Let the quitting start. And then you could be somebody real instead of liars. A bunch of liars and cheaters and thieves. Liars and cheaters and thieves, oh my. And maybe this town can get back to not being run down with a bunch of overpaid thief garbage men, women, whoever works up there. There's already a bunch of quitting. The birdies are out there going, oh, guess what? We're hearing this and hearing that. Yeah, I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are. But it's the point is, I guess the point is, I wasn't even no point to this. I was just having coffee, but I tell a good story. These are good stories. And I can tell stories for the rest of my life. And this story will be told for the rest of all of our lives. This story will be told for the rest of your lives. Thanks for tuning in.